how do I make my videos? Today we're going to go behind the scenes of my show, and I'm going to start from the beginning all the way to the end and show you what I'm doing, and then we'll talk about what I think I'm doing right and what I think I'm doing wrong. Now, hopefully this video will be informative, not just about the show in general, but also if you're interested in starting your own YouTube channel. Well, it can be a lengthy process, even though many of the videos are like 5 minutes or less. That's because of the type of show I'm doing. I use a green screen and I create my own animations a lot of times, and I need to write and read a lot of stuff before I even hit record. I found that even though editing takes up most of the time, it's the writing of the episode that drags me down. I was never particularly great at writing, but since I have to spend hours reading, I have to do my best, and I really just hate it the most. Up next, I set up my dining room with all my equipment. Yeah, even a green cloth from a fabric store is pinned to the wall. The dining room table holds most of my equipment. I have a couple of box lights and a cheap ring light to cut down on the shadows of the green screen. And I use this old microphone that actually really is great for the price, and you can usually find them for like $50 used. They're really good for podcasting as well. I have my laptop set up with GarageBand so I can record audio, a teleprompter with a cheap tablet, and a Rode microphone that is attached to the camera just as a backup, because GarageBand isn't always reliable. Now, the camera's changed since I started the show. I originally used an iPhone X and edited everything in iMovie. Eventually, I moved on to Adobe Premiere Pro and an iPhone 12 Pro Max, but now I use the Sony ZV-1. Once the equipment is up, I will typically record 3 to 4 episodes at once. This is a huge way to save your sanity and free up your dining room space for weeks at a time. Now it's time for editing. Usually I will spend a couple of hours per day for 2 to 3 days to finish an episode. And while it's uploading, I will start making my thumbnails. I use Adobe XD because it's very powerful, it's simple, and it's free for the most part. And I'll open up images in Photoshop sometimes to remove backgrounds or to boost the saturation, but otherwise everything is done right in XD. From here, I enter my episode title, a brief description, and then chapters using timestamps like this. And then I try my best to use keywords and tags, and then I schedule the episode to come out on Sunday. And then just wait for all the views to come flooding in. And that last part that's the hardest part, because I would say that maybe 100 views in a week isn't flooding at all. So, what do I think I'm doing right, and what am I doing wrong? Well, I do believe that the quality of my work is really high. I think I'm good at presenting the information, and even though I don't really care for the name of my show anymore, I think my branding is well done. And as for what I think I'm doing wrong, well, I know that my topics are wrong. I know that my audience isn't searching for any of these topics. I'm not doing trending topics. I'm not talking about video games, movies, cars, or many other categories that I could talk about. I'm doing what I'm finding interesting. And I knew that in the early days, which is why I had to plan for the long game. But how long is that game? I'm approaching 2 years now. If my topics are not being searched when I'm publishing them, then I'm basically just making content for myself. With that being said, some episodes have caught some slight traction as people finally started to search for it. There are a few of you that watch new episodes when they come out, and I'm really, truly thankful for that. As of this recording, I have just under 2,200 subscribers. While it fluctuates, I'm averaging about 120 new subs a month. They come from my top videos, which are either really old and not the style I like to do anymore, or they are topics that I don't care to spend time with. What does that mean? Well, that means most of my audience isn't getting the content they came here for. So why would they watch a video about space when they wanted to learn about dinosaurs? And after a year and a half of doing this, I've tried switching things up a bit. A few times I've gone through all of my thumbnails and updated them to try a new look. And my content has become much more focused on space, despite the fact these are my best performing videos. I mean, just look at the dates on some of these. The better performing are my least favorite and oldest. I cringe a bit watching most of these. And looking at other channels that talk about similar topics, I often wonder how they got to the numbers of views they have. If nobody's actually searching for these topics, then how is anyone watching them? Does the long game plan actually mean 5 or more years? But what does all this mean? Am I wasting my own time or just disappointing my audience with each new video that isn't a topic they care about. Maybe it's both. For now, I need to spend some time reworking these old videos and deciding what I want this channel to be going forward. I likely won't be releasing weekly content until I have this figured out. Or maybe I just find someone to write episodes and then I can enjoy creating again. But until then, watch my #1 performing video here and my favorite video here. And just look at the difference in views. That's so sad. And as always, thanks for watching, and what did you learn today?